Good afternoon, people. How you doing? My name is Heero. I am the author illustrator of The Stranger's Comic Book, and we are drawing today. We are drawing this afternoon. We are up on all 4 channels. There's 2 people watching. One person on YouTube and 1 person on Facebook. There's actually like a few things I want to cover, but let's get down to the get down. We now have we have the illustrious Nafi holding on to the reins. That is the booth boss. She's got me making mistakes now. She is our designated title holder of the Stranger Danger Award winner. Now going on 4 days, 4 different streams. She's unrivaled in this challenge. So congratulations to Nafi times 4. Still pushing on that goal of getting to 20, strangers on Twitch. We were at 70 YouTube subscribers, then we lost 2, gained 1. So we're back to 69. That number I hate so much, and I live in infamy here. But hey, it be like that. We've also been authorized for promotions. So I have a donation button underneath my head. Let's get a zoom in there. So yeah, you can hit that up if you want to. But we're going to be talking about 3 to 4 things. Probably we'll go Boku no Hero chapter 291 review. And then we'll go the PlayStation 5, Xbox, their release, their issues, my overall thoughts, and when I'm personally going to buy one. Spoiler alert. Not till there's a real game I want to play. And maybe we can talk Super. I haven't gone down my reading list, so Hajime no Ippo I haven't read yet, and things like that. So I don't want to, force the topic, and I actually have to do some reading for book club. So we'll probably go a little bit, hour, 30 minutes, just drawing here. Try and get through 19 and 20. Put some heavy damage in 19 and 20 today. I feel like 19 was done pretty well. Let's see how much I had left it in 19. How you guys doing? How's the fact that this pandemic, we got done with the election headache, and now the pandemic's here. Please be safe out there. Not my political channel, but I am still a healthcare provider, so I can still say, with a good conscience, please social distance, wear your mask, avoid crowds. I just see way too many of my people my age not taking it serious anymore. Like they've hit their limit. And I know it's tough, but you think this is rough? Winter is coming. And shit's gonna get real, man. So please take the necessary steps to, make sure you and your loved ones are in good space. My stream went down just a second ago, but it's back up now. I don't know. It's been bugging out lately. But let's push on. Let me just. All right, cool. All right. My camera's so crooked. like my chat just came back up live. All right. I don't know what happened there, but all right, guys, let's get to it. So, Boku no Hero 291 of the manga. Spoilers, obviously. Um, it's a continuation of 290. Why I didn't talk about 290 because I thought it was irrelevant in the sense that Dabi is Toya. Duh. That's not what we came here for. But, since they're forcing this to be some type of, dark secret and mystery, and let's shine a light on this. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So they give us in 291 Toya's backstory. And something immediately becomes apparent to me, which is Endeavor wasn't nearly as bad as a person as I thought he was. If I'm just being real. I mean, he didn't... I thought, this was going to be a classic story of the way the flashbacks are with him. They make it seem like, it was a Prince Zuko type thing where he was being beaten brutally to conform. But you can tell Endeavor's a serious father. But he, Toya has a very playful personality and even, makes jokes and mockery. There's a point where, and like Toya starts to see white in his hair. And his dad asks him, did you dye your hair? But, like even without that, his dad has major aspirations for him. Like he's like, oh, you got more firepower than I do. So you're definitely going to be a better hero than me. You're going to be stronger than me. Like he's already panned it out. And another thing that was kind of just like washed over, and this could be just Endeavor's, warped way of thinking, an abuser's way of thinking. Like in his mind, he's done nothing wrong. So, of course, when you hear the story from his perspective, he thinks he's in the right. He thinks he's cool. He thinks he's done no wrong. So that could be, that's a high possibility. But we're faced with that situation. Like we don't really get time to like. I'm very confused. Like at what point did Endeavor and Toya lose this compatibility, this bond? Because even Ray, who's the wife, agreed that we should continue pushing to get this perfect combination of our quirks. I thought it was just like it was a forced marriage, but she was an agreement based once again on Endeavor's description of the situation. So I was like so puzzled as to like who's lying here, and that's a big thing. Narrative, controlling the narrative. Dabi is on a level of Batman when it comes to detective work, apparently, because he was able to dig up stuff on Hawks, able to dig up stuff on Hawks' father, who Hawks really is. And it's just mind-numbing to me why this was such a big deal. Like, we've only seen two fire users in the whole entire series. Of course Dabi is related to them. Like this chapter, once again, this is just filler to me. I'm not going to be interested at all when this is animated. This is going to be a low point for me because once again, it's like, who is this for? I'm so perplexed. I'm so puzzled by it. But the thing that struck me as odd, I guess, going into more of the deep dive of this is, Dabi is painting the heroes as this bad guy, and he has a DNA test, and for what it's worth, unless the people of the Boku no Hero universe are just very shallow, vain people, they have to know, like, their heroes aren't perfect, but hard is the fact that and given with the fact that based on the backstory we have right now of Toya, he didn't. The only bad thing was he basically went to this hill where he trained, and he tried to like push his firepower to a level he wasn't able to control. And I think that's where the white in his hair comes into play. Maybe he had a body that was facilitated for ice quirks, but with the firepower he had, his body just kind of denounced it and pushed it out of him. So there's that. There's that. But when Toya died, it clearly affected Endeavor. It's still affecting him. It's not like Endeavor was like, all right, fuck it, on to the next. He spent his whole life, like, I don't know if Dabi knows this, he spent his whole life after he died trying to repent, regretting the fact that, and that's probably what drove him to be insane. When Toya died, he then started like, okay, or maybe it was when All Might, sealed the deal that he was the number one hero and there was no beating him. But like, I just don't get that. This is like poor writing for me, because unless it's conveyed in another way, as it stands now, Dabi's reasoning for even lashing out, because once again, if he was at that hill training by himself, okay, maybe you can make argument. Yeah, Endeavor should have been there, but if a kid wanders off by his own lonesome, that's on the kid. Shout out to the one person watching on Twitch and one person watching on Twitter. Was on Twitter? Cool. It just makes you wonder, like, man, what do you want? Like, you're being a brat at this point. So, with that being said, now we have this situation where, okay, we know, okay, they've got the crowd, they've got the people. As a group of people, if I'm watching this maniac who just admitted he killed 30 people, and he's mad because he has daddy issues, and that's the reason why, no, you're not getting a pass, and no, I'm not mad at Endeavor. If anything, I empathize with Endeavor more, because you can now, and the rest of the world might not be seeing this, but you can clearly see he's shook, and we'll get to that. Endeavor is shook right now. He is not there. Like, you see Shoto yelling at his father, hey, protect Midoriya, because let's take a look at the battlefield. We have one of the big three, Nejire, I believe is her name, one of the big three there. And if the big three is a showing of anything, we know that they're more than capable of holding their own. So I have no problem believing Nejire can handle herself. But we have the big three there. One of the big three there. We have Lita, the fast dude. We have Shoto, who's at icy hot, who's at good health. Midoriya is down. Bakugo is down. Shigaraki's down. Gigantomachia is there, but he only moves when told by his master. So Shigaraki's being incapacitated puts him at a disadvantage, because he's now essentially out until until he gets back in at full speed. But and the other thing that I'm now like thinking about is, what is, and Dabi, the League of Villain is all there. So Dabi's there, Mr. Compress, Splinter, the crazy chick, I'll be forgetting her name. They're all there. But, Dabi is clearly a detective, because he's managed to keep this away from all of them. None of them were savvy to this. So he's, like, Dabi's just getting OP shit happening to him all over this chapter. but this is once again my problem with this chapter. It's who hears this story and empathizes with him. Like I really feel like they were reaching to get us to empathize with him, and I'm just like, my guy, you killed how many people because of your daddy issues? Go fuck yourself. It's not that serious, my guy. Furthermore, if the reason why you were like, and this is why I think something had to have happened to Dobby that he doesn't know about, because if he went up to that hill to use his own firepower to max out, because and there's probably like this thing where he felt, and I'm just guessing because I'm trying to explain it away because they didn't tell us anything in his backstory. Like, did he feel as a child he wasn't, did he feel as a child he wasn't, valuable? So in an effort to be more valuable, he trained harder, and his dad never noticed. And his mom never noticed because they kept trying to have more kids that were better than him. So did Dobby just not understand that? Is that a case of, a kid listening in on a story that he's not really savvy to? Like, I just don't have an excuse for it. To me, it just looks like bad writing. And it's just glittered with the fact that this plot twist, which was, I don't know if it was supposed to be a secret, but I would have been more shocked if he wasn't Toya. I would have been more shocked if he was Toya's clone, sort of like that Warp Gate dude. If they did something like they did with him to Toya, where he is Toya, but his mind and everything has been switched out, like a Nomu. Like if Dobby was the first human Nomu, like human characteristics, humanoid Nomu, that would have been awesome. That would have been like, oh shit. So that doctor has been putting in work long before All for One. Like if he rebuilt Toya from the piece of jaw that remained in the fire, that would have been. Do we have two different color arms here? We do. What the fuck, Heero? So that would have been awesome to hear, because it could have been. You still give everybody what they want, but then you at least have a reason why. He's evil, because given his backstory, him dying in a fire, created of his own volition, trying to go beyond plus ultra head ass. I'm not buying it, but we push on to all this stuff being conveyed, and this is all being said out loud, and there's a dude, I guess, who has the ability to broadcast things and so on and so forth. They paint Hawks as a bad guy, and they tell the truth about Hawks' father and how Hawks is basically, his dad was a criminal who was caught by Endeavor, and it's just the irony there. It's just like, in the world where good and bad exist, you don't suffer for the sins of your father. And they talk about how Hawks had to kill a villain named Twice. My guy, you're a villain. Bad people, I'm not saying like you go out and kill outright, but you're a super villain who has the ability to mass multiply and create armies of people. So with that in mind, you know what? If he didn't want to go quietly and he had the ability to easily outnumber you within seconds, yeah, I think it's fine for someone like him to die. Oh, Heero, that's wrong. What about police? Shut up. It's a cartoon, you idiot. I just don't get it. Like, how is any of what is being said to us supposed to make me feel any different? The answer is not. These are bad people. I don't know how you. It's hard. It's hard to the goal. What they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is create like this Killmonger Thanos effect with Dobby, and they're failing horribly. And the reason why they're failing is just because like this. There's this misconception that for some reason. Wait, are they two different colors? I guess they're not, but they do look. Hold on. I guess they're not. My eyes are playing tricks on me then. All right. Carry on. So like, what was I saying? Oh yeah. But yeah, I am, and so I don't know where I was left off here, but basically, as people are now hearing these stories and everything's coming to fruition, things are looking grim. Things do not look good for our heroes. Man, we get wait once again bad foreshadowing. Bad foreshadowing. Well, not bad foreshadowing. It's because I read. If you read Vigilantes, you knew about this. Those steel cables, like 4 chapters ago, you knew about this. Horikoshi does have a way of like sort of letting plot points sneak up on us, but the person who's the best at this is Oda. Oda is the best at this, because he just lets. Actually, this is pretty unsettling. He just lets it all like roll off of you. I need to fix this. This is jarring. Oda would just let it roll. Let the punches roll. Yeah, Oda would just let it. Like, Oda will bring something back that happened months ago and be like, oh, yeah, y'all thought I forgot? The perfect example of this is from the very first chapter. There's a continuity issue where, like, a door was knocked down. And he talks, like, someone points this out, like, oh, there's a continuity error. I hate people like that. And Oda's like, oh, well, yeah, because the bar had this doorkeeper who his sole purpose is just to repair the door and like fix up the shop in record time, and that's why they hired him. And it was laughed off as a joke, but then like 1,000 chapters later, that fucking guy shows up again, and he's literally there doing what he said he's doing. Oh yeah, that's my distant cousin from that city, and he's repairing a and he's a repairman too. He's a carpenter too. It was just like, you didn't have to flex like that, Oda. But did that guy piss you off that much that you were like, nah, I can't forgive him? They have to know that I meant every piece of this. So, like, those type of things are just, I would have never known that if it wasn't for someone telling me. And then me going back and reading and seeing like, oh shit, it is true. Stuff like that is just effort. But what we clearly have here now is a situation of, Dobby just said Hawks killed the number 2 hero. And then fuck around and took his spot. Or I guess he was the number 5 hero. Yeah. Uh, Best Genius was number 5 Heero. Fuck around, took his spot, and then moved up on his ass, which is tragic. But they gave Dobby a body, so he had to have known Best Genius. Like, how did he trick Dobby? That's another question. So hopefully that gets answered next week. um, but Best Genius lands on site and he catches Dobby right before he does the Fire Fist attack, which he's coming straight for Endeavor and Shoto and the crew, and like I feel like Dobby's already a little overheating from his previous battles with the rest of them. He's had time to recover, sure, but he's definitely not at full capacity. So like he was saying, the prominence burn, and we know from Endeavor that this dude has more firepower than him. So I feel like this prominence burn was going to destroy the battlefield. Like he was going for a kamikaze attack. He was okay with dying here. And you see Shoto getting teary-eyed, like begging his father, especially in this time of need, to snap out of it and focus. And Endeavor's he's just out of it, and rightfully so. It's you feel for him, because it's like this man has spent his whole life after you died trying to be a better father. And it wasn't until he had his life, he became number one, that he realized that it didn't matter if his family didn't support him. He had nothing. Endeavor wanted so badly to be like All Might. But what makes All Might special is the people around him. Really. He wanted to be loved, and that's not something that you get when you're Endeavor. When you have a family. All Might doesn't have a family, and he's more accepted in a family role. And that has to irk Endeavor. It should irk Endeavor. But so like Best Genius comes in for the win. But I can't imagine. However, he last we saw of this man, he had a hole in his chest, given to him by All for One. So even if he survived that, there's no way he's at 100%. And once again, how did Hawks manage to trick Dobby into believing, they were Best Genius was really dead? That's gonna be the question on my mind. And it also confirms that Dobby and what's his name were in the same training program for advanced powered individuals. So that's pretty interesting. But there needs to be less. Like they're setting up more stuff. They're asking, creating more questions than they are answers, and that's kind of infuriating for me, because I'm just ready for this arc to come to its conclusion, because the writing's on the wall. Someone's going to die. Like, a few people are going to die. And the villains are going to get away. And the morale of Hero Society is going to be hurt, because they're going to need a new number one. And with our main character down for the count, who steps into that light? Like, that's just such a troubling situation they've created. Like, these kids have really had to step up more than ever. And is this the end of Hero Society? Well, no, it can't be. Why? Because once again, The intro of season 1 spoils that for us. Sort of like the way Boruto did it for us. They showed us a glimpse of the future where Boruto is holding his father and a blade, and he's looking off at this other dude, and they're fighting in Konoha. Oh, okay, cool. I'll come back when. So no matter anything that happens in this throughout the season, up until this point, none of that matters. I'll come back when it does. I don't know why shows do that. Foreshadow what's to come. Like, you're assuming your story arc is that interesting, or preferably that's where you want it to go, but you can't just go there right away. You want to talk about how Naruto has a son that ultimately, has to surpass him. Good luck. He's the Hokage. What better story is that? There is none. You're the leader of the ninja world. You're the leader of the your free world. So that was the problem with Boruto, and that is my issue with Boku no Hero for right now. But we'll see. Like, am I not gonna watch it? Yeah, right. So we'll see. But pushing on, let's talk about. Let's talk about PS5, the X-Bone, the issues, when I'm gonna buy one, if I'm gonna buy one. And, let's just get there. So, we've already established I'm a PS5 guy. If I buy next gen, I'll buy it next gen. It will be a PS5. The problem here is I don't see a reason for it. And this isn't, to knock the people who did buy it. Like, I think, one, it's your money. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. Two, in this year where everything has been taken from us, if a video game is what's going to keep you from diving off the deep end, go. Go buy your game, King. Whatever one you want. In fact, get both of them. You deserve it. You've earned it. Oh, you didn't do anything important this year? Still. Go get it, King. Make her buy it for you. Take it out of her nail funds. You deserve it, King. Tell them Heero said so. So, with that all out of the way, a big reason why I don't buy next gen consoles right away is, one, there's never any games for them, and this is no different. They try to sully us with the Miles Morales, and even, I saw that from a mile away. Miles Morales, my guy. It's a $40 game. I immediately knew that was DLC. That was for DLC, bro. Why are you giving us DLC? Why? Like, this should have just been a continuation. Like, rightfully so. You could have paid. I would have paid for $40 for Miles Morales. But after Into the Spider-Verse, I already know his story. His version of Uncle Ben is his Uncle Aaron. Cool, got it. Oh, he's trying to learn the ropes? Cool. Saw him do that in Into the Spider-Verse, not once, but with 4 separate characters trying to teach him. Got it. And it's a little bit less interesting because his villain of choice isn't Kingpin. It's some neon energy blasting group of people, which has this cyberpunk feeling to it. And, you know, they probably were just like, yeah, let's give Spider Man a cyberpunk aesthetic once again, which is cool. But in the rogues gallery that is Spider Man, and you could have used anyone, you used no one. Boo, shame on you. So that wasn't enough for me to buy this game, a new console. I need a game that I'll actually want to play. Um, and it's kind of strange because those new Arkham games would have been it, but it's like an RPG Destiny type game, and I hope they're reconsidering that after seeing how Marvel, a bigger franchise than them right now, is bombing. You know that Marvel game that they were so hyped about? Yeah, that shit is in the trash. There's more people watching my YouTube channel than playing that game. Let that marinate. Hulk smash that like button. But with that being said, it's just like the first rule of anything, of making anything, you have to make it fun. The game has to be fun. If the game isn't fun, it doesn't matter what, like, new console or not. Like Xbox, there's no games for Xbox. Like, who's playing these things? Call of Duty Cold War has been getting shit reviews. But, you know, let's talk a little bit about, so we're not just, you know, saying shit to be saying it, just to sound clickbait. Because they gave PlayStations and Xbox to all these YouTubers to, like, promote their products. And I think that's appropriate. That's good marketing. But you could tell that they were just marketing. There was nothing, like, creative about these people's videos. It was just them reading off specs in their funny way of talking. The thing that got me, or would have sold me on buying a system, would have been a good game, period. And since every game that's coming out right now is also coming out for the PlayStation 4, which, you know, the graphical advancements, sure. If that's the hill you want to die on, hey, go for it. But when I'm playing a game, I barely notice. I'm a person that also plays the N64 faithfully. Plugged in, right there. So I'm not impressed. I have a pretty shitty PC, not gonna lie, but it can handle a few games online. Never been a thing for me. Because once again, it's like, who cares what it looks like? What can I play on it? Nothing. So what do I need this hunk of plastic? Another thing, is not aesthetically pleasing, especially the PlayStation 5. It's all white. It's no. And let's talk about the PlayStation 5 and some of the issues they are having. The disk drive is not working. There's a storage issue that's making it hard. Like it bricks the system and causes it to crash. The disk drive not working is so annoying because that's literally what you paid extra for. The thing you paid extra for is not working. So that's another thing. But that's probably like 1 in 100 or 1 in 100, 1 in 100,000 or 1 in 1 whatever. It's minute. It's not enough. The Xbox, the only issues I remember was that fake thing where the smoke was coming out, but like once again they were having like server issues where like if you were trying to update your profile but you weren't logged into their system, it would brick it because it looks like there's 2 of your accounts, so it deletes everything. Minute stuff. Call the place. Tell them you'll get another system in a day or two. But to be spending $500 and having something not work out the gate, that's annoying. And you know that this is a calculated risk for them. They know that some of those disk drives weren't compatible. but they need the money to go out and make advancements, because like in a week, in a year or two, there's gonna be an upgraded version of this, and that's probably the one I'm definitely gonna buy, because in a year or two, there's definitely gonna be games that I want to play. Cyberpunk 2079 or whatever it is, not something I'm interested in playing. Uh, Not my aesthetic. I'm really disappointed in myself for not getting Watch Dogs. Um, because I've bought. I'll probably end up getting it, and I'll probably even do a playthrough of it. That'd be pretty cool, actually. My first playthrough of a video game, but I'll probably get it and do a playthrough of it. But I'm just not focused in on getting that game right now. But I'm usually pretty excited about the Watchdog titles. But this title didn't like the trailers of Watch Dogs games have always captivated me. The one with Marcus and the music from RTJ, it just got me in a mood, and I was just like, wow, I want to play this game. It's just high energy, super colorful. I love that. Watch Dogs 2 was amazing to me. I know they were super overcorrecting for the ultra grim Aiden Pierce, but I still liked Aiden Pierce and the combat skill set. But this whole new Watchdog Legions thing, where you're just DedSec and you're all of DedSec, and I have no problem with that. But it's there. Is this an excuse to me? You got criticized for making this very dry, drawby character in Aiden Pierce, and you overcorrected with Marcus and his ragtag bunch of psychopaths who are joyfully cracking jokes in between cutscenes of killing 30 people and mowing down hundreds of security guards. And in your escape, you kill 40 people. Like, their faces and names would be all over the news. But, in this world, it's YOLO. So I could see why that was sort of a cognitive dissonance that they didn't want to have in their system, their game anymore. But once again, they then said, okay, we can't be too fun. You can't be too crazy, or you can't be too like grim. We're gonna just let you decide. Let the people decide. Hey, Watchdog Legion is gonna be a different game, um, not because gameplay mechanics or anything special like that. Just simply because you get to pick whoever you want to be. So if you want to be an old grandma, cool. Go be an old grandma and be out there fucking people up. You want to be a super spy? Great. You want to be a paramedic? Great. But the thing about it is, and the thing that like no one is talking about is everybody can do everything. Because Watch Dogs is a game that's based on hacking. So everyone has a phone, so everyone can hack. Some people are faster, some people have like perks, basically. They're characters with perks. And my whole permadeath thing is, if I find a character I really like playing with, because you already know I'm about to create an all black squad, I don't want to miss important story details because of how I can build my team, or if someone dies. And I'm pretty sure there's something you could turn off. I would probably end up playing Watch Dogs on like easy or breeze mode, because I don't. There's a big part of me that thinks that this story is very like interesting. It has grounds for like great storytelling, but because they choose to hinder themselves with this like mindless roadblocks, it just makes me scratch my head. So like if I buy it, I'm gonna have to buy it at a discounted price. There's no if ands or buts about that. The Xbox, they have the Game Pass thing, and shout out to Microsoft for trying to make this thing grow. But the only way I would buy an Xbox is if I got it for free. Taufik, if you're watching this, I'll do reviews for your stupid company. I will shill for your company, bro. Tell them to send me an Xbox. I'll learn how to play Halo. Not a problem. Um, but yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy one probably next year. It's just not that important to me. I enjoy playing games, Call of Duty, and all that stuff. But as long as the two gens are so close together, and there's pictures of like the graphical enhancements and the things that are allotted to them, and I think those are all great, but not enough for me. Um. Oh yeah. Sorry guys. Texting. Mm, mm, mm. What was the last thing I want to talk about? A bunch of movie cancellations and stuff like that, but I don't know. Let's see, what did I have on the docket? Oh, there's a million people from MAGA marching. A bunch of Trump supporters are marching. Cool. A bunch of Trump supporters. Mm. How long have I been going? About to hit the 1 hour mark. All right, we'll keep pushing. Um, because I feel like I want to listen to my podcast, but I need my hands to actually like have to hear those things so I can know how I'm supposed to notes I'm supposed to be taking. Can't just be out here not taking notes. to send a shout out to anybody that has had a goal, dream, aspiration of any sorts, and that shit failed. And big dog, I hear you right now saying, damn, failed. What if I made it? Good. This message isn't for you. This message is for the person who tried, who looked for support from friends, family, and just never got it. He could never get it. Or she. Don't mind my pronouns, proper nouns and stuff, or nouns. They just couldn't get it. And because of that, they became, they didn't reach that goal, but they did get somewhere. They learned lessons. But for the few of you that did continue to persevere and push on and never, and do it without spite. That's another thing. To sit there and, still be able to conversate with the people who are, especially now with this whole black diaspora. The black culture is so beautiful and we need this and that. And they still rocking, Gucci belts. And they still trying to turn a buck from the big boys. And don't get me wrong, I'm shilling now too. You feel me? But that's why I think it's so important. People like Duplashane, who you guys don't know, but if you watch my other channel, you know about him. You remember when he was on, if you were on that channel, he said, he has a goal of wanting to create 20 food nutritionist spots. And at the time, I'm guilty of this. This is my confession to you, Duplashane. I said, wow. Not that I didn't believe in him. It was a lot. I was taken aback. But that's just further proof that, his dreams don't have to make sense to me. That's why they're his dreams. They don't have to make sense to anybody. But as much as they don't have to make sense to me, don't nobody owe you shit either. And I get it. It's tough, big dog. It's tough. I'm drawing for 2 people. But that's the lie. You tell yourself. I'm drawing for myself. Epic music starts playing. I'm drawing for my personal wealth. Keep playing. I want to get better. I want to get faster. I want to be stronger. That's why I'm drawing. And if whatever you're doing right now to appease yourself, to give yourself value, to give yourself meaning, if at the end of the day you can't do that shit without the support of others, you're wasting your time. Rule number 1 of creating anything is you have to love that shit first. I don't create this stuff with the intent someone else will like it. I like it. And as long as that's the case, it'll always be enough for me. It will always be enough for me. And I just wanted to say that. Get that off my chest. All you people out there working your ass off and getting nothing. Not even a notification. Not even a hiccup of love from the people who say they love you? How do you factor that out? Go be great. You don't need the machine, you just need the people. I have a taste for donuts so bad. But I've been doing really good on my diet. But yeah, I really want to know what some of y'all goals and dreams are. Like, what are your aspirations? Mm. Do, 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 do. Experience makes you better. Um, I don't know if I'll be able to go grocery shopping today. Probably go tomorrow or probably Monday. Knock out two birds with one stone. Isn't Thanksgiving the last Thursday of the month this month? The 26th? always feel bad when I get to this point in the show because you guys don't hear the music I'm listening to, so it just looks like I'm mindlessly. I don't know. Maybe people do draw in pure silence, but I don't. I don't know. I feel obligated to play some stuff for you, so let's play some stuff for you. Let's do the weekly roundup. That's 11 minutes.
Is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Did you know Netflix has different shows depending on where you are in
no one cares, Brian.
battle? Oh yeah, which one runs which game the best? It's the best time of the year. All right, so let's get it kicked off. The YouTube channel NX Gamer did the first really side-by-side comparison that I've seen, and they did, of course, Assassin's Creed Valhalla side-by-side with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Perfect title to compare a multi-plat open-world game. Both consoles can play it. So who did they give the edge to? Surprisingly, the PS5. And I say surprisingly because it's pretty well known at this point that the Series X is the slightly more powerful system. We should note that the performance pretty darn close between the two. Both systems ran it at 60 FPS with a dynamic 4K resolution. They noted that both consoles don't manage to reach the 4K resolution target of 2160p. Instead, they average around 1800p and below. Now, they also did point out that both consoles kept it at 60 frames per second for most of the time. But NX Gamer gave the edge to the PS5 thanks to slightly faster loading times. They clocked it at one point as being 12% faster than the Series X during one transition. And then after your character dies and respawns, the PS5 loaded you back up at about 5% faster than the Series X. Honestly, though, we're talking about a 1 second difference in load times, though nothing earth-shattering. But still, we like to know who's just a little bit faster. That small difference in performance was confirmed by Digital Foundry's John Linneman, who was asked about the video. He responded that yes, this is true, that the PS5 outperformed the Series X. So there you go. Round one goes to the PS5, but of course there are many, many more to go. And if you're wondering how the Xbox Series S did running Valhalla, it did not hit 60 frames per second. Instead ran at 30 FPS on a 1440p resolution. Speaking of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it appears to be doing very well in the sales department. Ubisoft didn't give exact numbers, but they said
I heard it's just a really big game.
Twice the number of active players on launch day compared to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said, "We are humbled by the reception from the players and extremely proud of what our teams have accomplished with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which builds on the amazing success of its predecessors." All right, we'll get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but first, guys, let's talk about HBO Max. Now, it's been a crazy 2020, and in true what mood you're in, I gotta talk about the other stories. Speaking of next-gen consoles, if you pre-ordered your Xbox Series X on Amazon, you might have a little bit of a wait. Some people who pre-ordered got a very sad email from Amazon saying, "We expect to ship your console in the coming weeks as we receive more inventory in November and December. At this time, we anticipate you will receive your Xbox Series X by December 31st or before." December 31st, that's way after Christmas, Amazon. Jeez. Amazon added, "We are making every effort to get it to you as soon as possible and apologize for any inconvenience." We see this a lot around new console launches. There's a mad rush at the beginning and supplies.
Like, why would you even why would you punish yourself?
Said they had a great launch. He said that Tuesday was the largest launch in Xbox history. He said that in 24 hours they saw more new consoles sold in more countries than ever before. He also said they're working with retailers to resupply as quickly as possible. Speaking of Big Phil, he recently talked to GameSpot about the upcoming Elden Ring. It's made, of course, by the Dark Souls creator, Hidetaka Miyazaki. Big Phil told GameSpot that he has played quite a bit of Elden Ring. He sounds pretty stoked about it. He said, "I can't tell you much other than, as someone who's played all of Miyazaki's games over at least the last decade, this is clearly the most ambitious game that he's done." Is he trying to set us up for a delay here? That's what it sounds like a little bit. Phil added that seeing some of the gameplay mechanic stuff that he's tackling, that he and the team are tackling at this time of the setting, working with another creator in terms of the story, I love it. We don't know a ton about the game so far. There was that 2-minute teaser at E3, We know it's an open world, it's Souls-like, and of course, with the writing assist from George R.R. Martin, that's who the other creator is, because it's not like he has anything else to be working on these days. Good news on the Spider-Man front. Insomniac Games reversed course and said that in an upcoming update for the PS4 version of Marvel Spider-Man, you will be able to export your save to Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. Yeah! A lot of people have wanted that because a lot of us, myself included, have sunk many, many hours into the original game. Insomniac also said that the update will add the 3 new suits from Spider-Man Remastered into the PS4 game. The update should come around Thanksgiving. Now, it's no secret that Persona 4 Golden was a big hit on Steam.
You're up early. US Cellular is giving away the latest phones for free with no hidden requirements, so I did not want to miss it. Actually, you can...
Now, Sega says they'll release more of developer Atlas's back catalog as a result. That's awesome. After its Steam release on June 13th, Persona 4 Golden hit over 500,000 players as of a month after that. That far exceeded Sega's expectations. They told investors they're going to be a lot more proactive about putting out more Atlas games on Steam. They also said they want to release more ports, remasters, and remakes from their catalog of Atlas games to various platforms. They've said this before. We've heard this before, but it's still good that they're re-emphasizing it. All right, time for a 5-second review. I wish I knew more of my history so I could be like, yeah, my ancestors were Vikings, but nope, just plain old white dude.
Are Vikings just plain old white dudes?
Alright, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, 5 Dates is an interactive rom-com about the unpredictable world of digital dating. That's right, you might get killed. That's how it was back in the 90s, guys. With 5 potential female matches, Vinny explores whether compatibility, chemistry, and connection is still possible in a world where physical touch is no longer an option. Well, it's an option, but maybe not on a date, maybe just by yourself. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch November 17th. Mars Horizon. Lead a major space agency as you guide humanity to Mars in the strategy sim game. Construct a base, design, build rockets, conduct missions throughout the solar system, and write your own history of space exploration. Created with support from the European Space Agency. I had no idea that existed. What have y'all done lately, European Space Agency? It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch November 17th. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, the definitive Mortal Kombat 11 experience. Take control of Earthrealm's protectors in the game's 2 critically acclaimed time-bending story campaigns as they race to stop Chronica from rewinding time and rebooting history. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate features the complete, with a K, 37-character roster.
I'm gonna stop here because actually got shit to do.
And Rambo, hell yeah, John Rambo. It comes
Do
to
I have to
PC,
draw?
PS5, Xbox Series X,
Yeah, I have
PS4,
to draw
Xbox One,
19.
Switch, and Stadia, November 17th. Man, there are a lot of consoles these days. Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle. Prove your mettle in the world's biggest multiplayer Pac-Man experience.
Alright, party people. That's my 1 hour commitment. I've done it. I'll catch up with you guys later. Be safe. Take care.